I said, what do you mean too much money? The schools are going to carry forward of X millions. And you're going to call the board into a secret session to tell them. Well, I said, how are we going to find out what the public thinks if we take it secret? We're going public. And we did it by name of every school, both in dollars and percentage of their budget. And I said to the board, for 100 years we've been trying to tell people they don't know how to manage money. The first year they get to manage the money, they carry forward 2%. Would you and I think we've been living high on the hog if we had 2% at the end of the year? It was received as public information in every year since. So there were all kinds of other things. By the way, I said I concluded with the last example, and folks tell me you get 30 seconds after that to conclude. But let me violate that, because I saw a business meeting, and then I come in normally at 7 in the morning. I don't see all those spirited kinds of things. So let me give you just one more example of what happened. If you think that as we move into this, because some of you say, well, you know, okay, first we got to be convinced, but if this thing really works, then how come Clark County hasn't got it for everybody? It's not quite that simple. And also, I can tell you that for every step that we take in Clark County, and I've been part of this for 4 years, every time we take another step, you think you've solved a problem, all you do is create an appetite for more problems. And I'll give you one with us. When we gave the schools the money, we thought that if the decision-making went to them, we could downsize Central. And to me, as a superintendent, that made sense. Because if the schools got more money and downsized Central, I looked like a hero. But all of a sudden, the schools who had all the answers now weren't so sure, and they wanted a second opinion, especially if it was free. And they began to look for free samples. And everything from Central was free. You know, like going shopping for Costco Saturday morning, you know, if you go through the right stations, you know what I'm talking about. And so I said to the schools, hey, wait a minute, you know, if you people want more free service, guess where it's coming from? The dollars we gave you in the first place. And so what we did was we began to look at the services that we put on a cost recovery basis. The district that I left 15 years ago, and I've been in suit for 22. Today, 92 cents of every dollar the district spends is planned for at the school level. Wow. Now, Central, in some cases, provides more service, but it is by school-driven demand. If there is no demand, we go out of business. And like I said, you think you solve our problem? The minute we said that to the schools, they said, people like Jeff, you know, the principal at Cheyenne, do we have to buy from the company store? What do you mean you have to buy from the company store? Well, if I've got autonomy now, what if I can get a better deal? Now you've got to start coming up with solutions. And we found over a period of time, who are the vendors who can do business and in what areas, and how do you work with the unions? And can we also buy services not only from the Central store, but if we can buy services from other schools, things of that type. And so every one of these systems to implement, and I use the example, you know, Gorbachev brought one system to a grinding halt. Implementing another one is not quite that easy. And what we're trying to do in Clark County right now, and by the way, it's the only way you can do this, is you've got to operate the two side by side. And this is the most difficult, that transition period of how, if you go one system totally or the other system totally, it's much easier to operate than trying to operate both of these side by side at the same time. And I think I'm great.
That's just a real quick, brief presentation of what he's capable of giving, and he can tell stories for a day, and you guys would be able to listen to them all day long. It's just amazing.